we're in a solar eclipse right now. Ow. Okay. So let's get out of this situation. I actually hate solar eclipses. And yeah, I guess let's just do this for a little bit. I believe... Okay. I believe Terraria got an update. I mean, this was last week, but I think I need to update my game. And great timing, but I think Mage class got a little bit of an update. Oh my goodness. I could actually get out a little dragon boy, that would be nice. But yeah, so this stream is actually just kind of just to chill and do whatever. I mean, we beat the Moon Lord. We got all the items that we want. The last prism. And the Lunar Flare. And yeah, so it's not really that much. I mean, obviously we could do a lot more, but it's like the main quest. And yeah, I kind of just want the stream, and maybe next stream, to be like a little transition period into something else. Really wish I could make this go by faster. I don't even know, because it definitely didn't spawn this event, right? Yeah, so I guess I'm just going to do this. the most fun thing in the world. I wonder. $5,000 damage per second. But yeah, maybe after this we can update the game and see what kind of changes they made. Be kind of cool. If I can wait, if I can just have the solar eclipse be done, that would be great. Oh, look at that. And I don't usually have, like, or take the time to just, like, chill after a playthrough. I kind of just go into the next playthrough. You know, I don't take the time to, like, enjoy the fruits of my labor, like I'm doing right now. Man, it's taking way too long. We're getting way too many things. Got some steak. Okay. Can this be over, please? Thank you. Thank you, game. Love when that happens. Okay. So I'm gonna check Steam right now. Steam. And Terraria. Alright, I'm just gonna move this here. Just to block. Okay, this is a lot of there's a lot of changes. But basically, yeah, the whole mana system is reworked. So I'm gonna be eating some stuff. But yeah, mana regeneration delay completely removed. Mana now regenerates even when attacking at 5% of its normal rate. Staying still not doubles, increased mana regeneration rate. So yeah, a whole bunch of a lot of changes to that. Okay, I'm gonna I don't actually know how to update. But we can check if we updated. If I can... Ooh. So it did update. So look at my mana bar at the top. So that's how fast it regenerates when I am moving. And this is when I'm standing still. Excuse me? Why am I still like this? Okay. So yeah. Stream is just to chill out. Already established that. I'm very tired, if you can't tell. But no excuses. Okay. Yeah, I don't actually have anything planned for this episode. Don't mind me eating my salad. Oh, I guess we could continue to look at the changes. Okay, so mana regeneration delay completely removed. Alright, went over that. Standing still one. Increased mana regeneration. Increased mana regeneration rate. When you have low mana, mana consuming weapons can now be without enough mana at 40%. What? Mana regeneration rate reduced by 13%. Oh. That's a nerf. Superman potion. Ooh. Mana recovery increased from 300 to 400. I have to use ectoplasm. Superman potion. Oh. Mana cloak. Well, I guess toxic blast is something that we could have used. Except for the leaf blower. Blood thrower, flower fire. A lot of stuff done to that. Unholy trident. These are magic weapons. Spore sack. So this stuff is a buff to mana. Boss's vision. A lot of bugs. Hmm. A lot of items.
Terraria 1.4.5.7 just came out, so let's take a look at all the new changes to the gem staves, gem robes, as well as the 5 new weapons and 2 new accessories that are added in this latest update. One of the biggest changes is the rework of the gem staves and gem robes, which have all gotten a unique effect with the projectiles, which can also pair in really interesting ways between the staffs and between the robes. As well as that, they also got a reduced metal cost for the gem staffs by about 30%, as we can see here, meaning that they'll be a lot cheaper to craft, and
Oh,
so they'll be more
nice.
accessible earlier in the game. Each gem staff now behaves in a unique way, and the projectiles follow that logic as well. For the Amethyst Staff, the projectiles now home in on the target, which is really cool actually, because it means that it's going to be a lot easier to hit some of those harder to hit targets, like enemies that are really fast. And especially for early bosses, if you have bad aim, this is going to make it a lot easier. The Topaz Staff is, I think, one of the best changes, which the new projectile explodes upon impact. It is a little bit slower, but once it hits an enemy, it explodes and can deal up to around 150 damage, depending on how many targets you can actually hit. This is going to be really great for those early invasions, like the Goblin invasion,
Oh yeah.
especially before you get other dedicated magic weapons. The Sapphire Staff also has a couple of new changes where the projectiles now swirl around in a pattern, and there's actually 2 of them. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when it says base damage of 21 damage, and keep in mind this is with the Hallowed Armor on, so the real base damage is closer to 18. That means that it's going to be a total amount of damage between the 2 projectiles. So each projectile is going to be doing around 8 to 12 damage, I've found. So just keep that in mind. Both projectiles are not doing 18 damage each, it is 18 damage combined. The Emerald Staff has also gotten a really good change. The projectile is just very fast. It's a very fast projectile that pierces up to 2 enemies, so it'll pierce the first enemy and detonate or break on the second enemy. And this is also going to be pretty good for crowd control or just those bosses that are kind of tricky to hit because you don't have to worry about missing with projectile just because it is so fast. The Ruby Staff, in my opinion, got done dirty in this update. It just fires 2 projectiles instead of 1, and again, that damage is split between the 2 projectiles. So it's kind of cool because you can rapid fire it, but it's honestly just pretty weak. So I think that this is actually one of not the best changes that we've gotten. The Amber Staff, I think, is one of the most interesting ones, though. The projectile now bounces, so it'll bounce one, two. Actually, let's see if I can do it. One, two. Yeah, it'll bounce twice, and then it'll break on the third bounce, as well as also pierce targets. So it'll pierce up to 3 enemies, or I guess 2 enemies, and then hit a third. This is, I think, is going to be really, really useful if you're in the underground desert or the underground jungle, because it means that you can fight in
For
those really
sure.
tight spaces without worrying about your projectiles breaking on the blocks. The Diamond Staff, honestly, I'm not entirely sure what changed. I think it just does a lot of damage, and maybe it's just very bright. It doesn't seem like it's that much faster. It doesn't home in on its target, and it doesn't do splash damage. So I think this one just overall got a buff, so it does quite a lot of damage, and I guess maybe it has a slightly faster attack speed. I'm not entirely sure,
Maybe more
but this one
knockback.
does seem to be stronger. The gem robes also got a really, really cool change. These now, the amethyst robe pairs with the amethyst staff. Each of these robes has the same effect as the staff. So, for example, if you wear the amethyst robe, whatever staff you use will have that same effect, which means now if I'm wearing this one, which if you remember, this one makes it so that the projectiles home in, I can use the emerald staff and it'll home in on their targets, which can be really good, especially with this one because it's such a fast projectile and it also pierces. So now you have a homing, piercing, high speed projectile.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you
pretty
mix
cool.
and match these robes between each other, I think they could be really, really good, especially for how easy they are to make. We also got 2 new accessories. At least I'm pretty sure it was only 2 accessories. I could be wrong on that. I have not been able to see the full list of new accessories just because the wiki still hasn't updated yet because the update just came out. But we also got the Restoration Shield, which is a combination of the Cobalt Shield and the Mana Regeneration Band. This will be really good for mages because it not only gives you immunity knockback as well as the added defense of the shield, but also the benefits of the Mana Regeneration Band. And the same goes for the Mystic Art Sash, which is just a combination between the band and the black belt. So this gives you the ability to dodge as well, which is pretty nice. Now onto the best part, the new weapons. And I'll have the recipes on screen. Some of them are crafted, some of them are found naturally along the world. Daybloom Staff is going to be a very basic early game magic weapon, kind of equivalent to something like a wooden bow, I would guess, just because you can craft it almost immediately upon entering the world. You don't have to defeat any bosses, or you don't even really have to do much exploring for it. But it seems to fire 4 little petal projectiles, which each do between, I'd guess, around 7 to 12 damage each, depending on how much you crit. But this, I
Not
think, is going to
bad.
be really useful for dealing with not only single target damage, because you have 4 instances of knockback, but also for some of those early bosses like maybe King Slime and maybe Eye of Cthulhu, especially if you don't have any other alternatives. A slight upgrade from that, though, is going to be the Glacier Fang. This weapon is going to be found naturally throughout the world in the same places you would find the Snowball Launcher or the Snowball Cannon, as well as the Ice Blade or the Frozen Boomerang. The second weapon is going to be the Glacier Fang. This is going to be found in the same places where you would find the Ice Blade
Okay.
or the Frozen Boomerang, so frozen chests or up to 3 stages. A projectile that very quickly falls to the
I've
ground and
noticed that
doesn't do all that
YouTubers are
much
making
damage.
more
2 stages
mistakes
will shoot it a little
in
bit
their videos,
further.
me
It'll still
included.
drop down, but it will do significantly more damage. Finally, on 3 stages, it'll automatically release, pierce up to 3 targets, and deal the maximum damage available. This one I think is going to be pretty cool, especially for early game, just because you can find it pretty much immediately. All you just have to do is do some exploring, and it's going to be really helpful for some of the early invasions, just because it does deal pretty decently with crowds. The other early game item is going to be the Mystic Bloom, and this one is going to be crafted finding materials that you would easily find in the jungle, so Nature's Gift as well as some other materials.
That's
And this
cool.
one's going to summon a couple, I think between 3, I think 3, I think it's always 3. It'll fire 3 petals, which will then home in on nearby enemies. And so this is also going to be pretty decent for single target because you can hit it quite a few times, but also pretty decent for crowd control because it can hit multiple enemies at existing Thunder Zapper, which can be found in the underground desert at pretty much any point in the game. But this is just going to summon a huge lightning bolt
That's
that'll
really
deal
cool.
area damage as well as inflict the on fire debuff. And this one I think is ridiculous because you can just shoot it wherever And it is kind of slow, unfortunately, but it just does a crazy amount of damage and it just obliterates crowds. And I think it's going to be really, really strong against single target as well. A fun fact with this weapon is that it'll act similarly to actual lightning, where if you hit the water, it'll deal damage to enemies in the water. So you have to be careful because if you're in the water while you're using this, you can actually hit yourself. The
Hmm.
last weapon is the Arc Surge. Now, this is going to be a late game item dropped by Martian saucers from the Martian invasion, and I
Ooh, we can get
think
that.
it has around a 2% drop chance, so probably a rare drop, which
Ugh,
kind of
2%.
sucks. But it makes sense because this weapon is incredible. It shoots red lightning just
Hmm.
where your cursor is. Of course, it is blocked by blocks, but it has such a long range, you can shoot it across your screen, and it just does insane damage. It has a base damage of, I believe, 180, but if I put on just a hallowed armor with them for the magic, it goes up to 214, and it pierces pretty much infinitely. I don't think it has a limit for how much it pierces, but I'm
Wow.
hitting almost 6,000 damage per second. That is ridiculous. This is going to be such a good weapon for crowds or invasions, as well as also single target damage, just because of how much damage it does. This is just an insane weapon. 720 crit. This weapon I think a lot of people are going to farm for. It does leave some kind of effect on them. I don't know if that's just cosmetic. It doesn't seem to have any tooltip relating to that, so I'm interested to see what that actually does. I don't think it increases the damage that you deal. I go into the water, so it'll only shoot until the surface. That is going to do it for this episode. If you guys found this informative, please leave a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments.
Okay. That's basically it. Maybe we could do the merchant event. Yeah, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty much done with this game. Um, yeah, honestly, not gonna lie, I kind of feel a little bit burnt out from Terraria stuff. I could also just be because I was streaming another game for kind of a long time, but like, yeah, I don't really know what to do. Bless me. Okay. Let's look up how to...
When it comes to your car, we'll get it done right. Tire service, oil changes, repairs and alignment.
Welcome to my Calamity mod beginner guide. This guide will be as spoiler free as possible so that I do not ruin the mystery and magic behind the mod. The mod can be a bit overwhelming at first, but with this video you can go into the mod knowing what you're getting yourself into without ruining said experience. If this video does help you though, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the guide. So now you might be asking, what does the Calamity mod actually add? It adds 27 bosses and 12 mini-bosses, over 100 new enemies, 5 new town NPCs, 5 biomes and many new structures, 1 new event, a new rogue class based on the vanilla throwing class with unique mechanics, over 1,800 new items, 100 new blocks, 11 ores, 2 full difficulty settings with AI changes that take the difficulty up from expert or master mode, and many changes to vanilla mechanics, recipes, or items. So if you like the idea of having a bunch more content for Terraria, this is definitely the mod for you, but there is one thing that we have to get into before you get started, which is difficulty. So getting into difficulty settings, basically the way it goes is there is normal, expert, revengeance, and then death, and that's the order of difficulty. Now, in short, if you want the best experience and you want to experience the entire mod, you want to play on revengeance mode. The reason behind that is there's a lot of new mechanics, and then also there is certain drops that are only experience and you want to... The way it goes is there is normal, expert, revengeance, and then death, and that's the order of difficulty. Higher mod, also there is certain drops that are only revengeance mode and up difficulty only.
So
what you need to do in order to play on this mode is you have to play on an expert mode world, and then in game you'll be able to adjust the difficulty to revengeance once you get in game. The changes of revengeance mode are as follows. It adds 2 new mechanics to the game, which is rage and adrenaline, which we will get into later. It also basically changes a bunch of enemy AI. For example, slime AI, they jump lower and then they jump significantly higher on certain jumps, and they are always aggressive towards the player. It doesn't just impact normal enemies though, it also impacts the bosses. I'm not going to really say much here, but in short, every boss will have new mechanics, vanilla and Calamity wise. So I just cannot stress this enough. If you can afford to and it's not too much for you, I really recommend playing this, as I just feel like it's the minimum to get like the experience of the mod. Alright, now that we've gone over difficulty and you are on revengeance mode, we are going to go ahead and get into what happens when you create a new character. The first thing that you're going to do is create an expert mode world and create a character with the Calamity mod enabled. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to notice that you have a starting bag, and this item basically gives you a bit of an early game boost. It gives you some potions, it gives you some items, some weapons, and so forth to kind of help you out in the early game. Revengeance mode can be enabled by opening your inventory, and in the top right you'll see an icon where you can select Revengeance or Death mode. The next thing you're going to want to do is go into your control settings, and if you scroll down you're going to find the Adrenaline and Rage hotkeys. These are basically going to be a new mechanic added in Revengeance, which we will explain now. In Revengeance mode, you'll have 2 new bars at the top of your screen. The first one is Rage, which is the red bar, and the second one is Adrenaline, which is the green bar. The rage meter is charged by being close to enemies. The closer the player is to the enemy, the faster the rage meter will charge, and bosses triple the rate that the bar fills. In order to get the fastest meter of charging this, you need to be within 10 blocks of an enemy. The rage meter can empty over time. This happens whenever the player is out of combat, which is when you're not near any enemies and you haven't dealt damage to any enemies for 10 seconds. Whenever you use rage by hitting your rage hotkey after it's been fully charged, you will multiply your damage by 35% for the next 9 seconds. This can be upgraded over time through certain boss drops. Next up, we
Okay.
have Adrenaline. Adrenaline is the green bar, and this is only charged within boss fights. It is charged by not getting hit, it takes 30 seconds to fully fill, and if you get hit while it's full or charging, you lose all of your current meter. It gives a 200% damage boost for 5 seconds. If you are hit while the bar is full, Adrenaline will be removed, and that hit's damage will be reduced by half. The only time you will not lose Adrenaline from getting hit is if the damage from that hit is less than 5% of your HP, in which case you will lose partial Adrenaline based on the damage received. Adrenaline, in short, basically just rewards good dodging and knowing the boss's mechanics, and it can be used to shred hard phases of fights if you save it strategically and reduce the fight duration. I think the best example would be something like Duke Fisheron, where the final phase can be a bit dicey here and there, so by using Adrenaline
おい早く終わらせてよ
and saving it for the final phase, you can burst down that phase quite fast if you do not feel comfortable with said phase. Moving on, there's a lot of vanilla changes that I think are very important to go over. One of them is the summoner penalty. In short, this is a penalty for if you are multi-classing with summoner. If you're only relying on summons to deal your damage along with whips, you will get no penalty with summons. But if you are using both summons as well as ranger weapons or melee weapons, you will actually get a summoner penalty where they will do about 25% less damage as compared to if you were pure summoner.
I think
This
that's
damage
good.
penalty does not trigger whenever you're holding a tool or a classless weapon. The next change is the ore progression of hard mode. Whenever you defeat Wall of Flesh, Cobalt and Palladium will spawn, and then whenever you defeat a classless weapon. This damage penalty does not trigger whenever you're holding a tool or a classless weapon. The next change is the ore progression of hard mode. Whenever you defeat Wall of Flesh, Cobalt and Palladium will spawn, and then whenever you defeat your first mechanical boss, Mithril and Orichalcum will spawn. After your second mechanical boss, Adamantite and Titanium ore will spawn. And lastly, after your third mechanical boss, Hollowed ore will spawn in the underground hollow biome. Another big change of hard mode is destroying altars with Ponehammer will drop Souls of Night and will not generate any extra ores. We have now finished the vanilla changes. It is time to get into some added on mods that I would really recommend in order to make your experience a bit better within the Calamity mod. The first one is boss checklist. This gives you a general idea of what boss to do next. You'll just open your inventory, and the bottom right there's going to be a boss log little book icon. If you click on that, it will give you some info about the boss and how to spawn it, as well as like the loot and where to fight it and all that good stuff. It's really useful for learning your way through Calamity. The next one is recipe browser. This one can be used in order to figure out what you can craft with whatever items you have in your inventory, or if you want to go ahead and look up an item to see what you can craft with it or how to craft a certain item, that is what this mod is for. The next mods are music mods. You want Calamity mod extra music as well as Calamity mod music. These are separate from the main mod. Make sure to get these. These soundtracks are absolutely amazing. The final mod is going to be magic storage. In short, this is a mod that makes one big chest for you that you can deposit all of your stuff in, as well as craft within it. It is super useful, and it's a mod that I honestly can't go without for modded playthroughs. Crafting recipes in Calamity can be really complex, so by using this mod you can save yourself a lot of the headache. I have a magic storage guide that will be linked in the description and in the top right of this video if you want to learn more about that. Moving on, we're going to go ahead and get into some general tips and advice. The first one is if an item is labeled as a material, that means that it can be crafted into other things. This is useful for when you're looking to upgrade your weapon potentially. You can see what the requirements to get that upgrade are.
Okay.
Liberty Mutual helps you customize and save hundreds on car insurance.
Welcome back everybody, MC here with another video, and today I want to show you guys how to play modded Terraria. And to play modded Terraria, you need Tmod Loader, which you download from Steam. And if you download Tmod Loader, you'll be able to access all of the mods within the game, within the app. It's completely free, and I'm going to show you how to use it too. But first, you have to install it. So install your Tmod Loader. Now, Tmod Loader is actually supported by the devs, as in they support it, and they often give updates on what's going on in the Tmod Loader experience. You, of course, have to own Terraria in order to use Tmod Loader. You can't just play Tmod Loader on its own. And, I mean, if you don't have Terraria by now, you're missing out. So, Tmod Loader opens up the same way that regular Terraria does. You just have to click the icon on your desktop or click it in Steam, and it even looks the exact same as Terraria as well. You go into your mods list and you enable and disable mods depending on what you want to use. For example, I have Thorium mod disabled. If I want to enable it, I click on the enabled. If I have Calamity mod, which I'm in the middle of doing at the moment, I click and enable it, and you can have any combination of mods you want. Just be careful. You might completely make a crazy version of Welcome back everybody, MC here. It's up the same way that regular Terraria does. You just have to click the icon on your desktop or click it in Steam, and it even looks the exact same as Terraria as well. You go into your mods list and you enable and disable mods depending on what you want to use. For example, I have Thorium mod disabled. If I want to enable it, I click on the enabled. If I have Calamity mod, which I'm in the middle of doing at the moment, I click and enable it, and you can have any combination of mods you want. Just be careful. You might completely make a crazy version of Terraria if you do. And then you go to your mod browser. This is where you find Calamity. This is where you find Thorium. This is also where you find other mods. So if you want to go to more info for Thorium, for example.
There we go.
Can have to use it too. Loader is actually missing out. So Tmod Loader opens up the same way that regular Terraria does. You just have to click the icon on your desktop, click it in Steam, and it even looks the exact same as Terraria as well. You go into your mods list and you enable and disable mods depending on what you want to use. For example, I have Thorium mod disabled. If I want to enable it, I click on the enabled. If I have Calamity mod, which I'm in the middle of doing at the moment, I click and enable it, and you can have any combination of mods you want. Just be careful. You might completely make a crazy version of Terraria if you do. And then you go to your mod browser. This is where you find Calamity. This is where you find Thorium. This is also where you find other mods. So if you want to go to more info for Thorium, for example, it'll take you out of Terraria or out of Tmod Loader. Open a browser page, you can have a read. You don't really need to read any of that anyway. And if you want to download a mod, just click the download arrows
Music.
to the right of the arrow. Or sorry, to the right of the
I
question
guess it
mark.
automatically download music.
to my it's more entertaining. The Rada's Discord is now craft spawn it, as well as like the loot and where to fight it and all that good stuff. What boss to do next? You'll just open your
Boss
inventory and in the
checklist.
bottom right there's gonna be a stuff. The next one is recipe browser. This one can be used in order to figure out what you can craft with whatever items you have in your inventory, or if you want to go ahead and look up an item to see what you can craft with it or how to craft a certain item. That is what this mod is for. The next mods are music mods. You want Calamity mod extra music as well as Calamity mod music. These are separate from the main mod. Make sure to get
Okay, Calamity. Calamity. Mod music.
these soundtracks are absolutely amazing. The final mod is going to be magic storage. In short, this is a mod that makes one big chest for you that you can deposit all of your stuff in, as well as craft within it. It is super useful, and
Oh,
to
what
have
is it?
all of your stuff in. This is a mod that makes one big
Okay, magic storage. We're going all in.
chest for you that you can deposit all of your stuff in, as well as craft within it. Be really complex. So by using this mod, you can save yourself a lot of the headache. I have a magic storage guide that will be linked in the description. This is useful for when you're looking to upgrade your weapon potential.
Okay.
You can see what the requirements to get that upgrade are.
So... Required by my magic storage. Boss checklist, claim, action. Cool. So, I mean, technically this will be the first episode-ish of Terraria Calamity. I think. I mean, I had the mods enabled. You just... Sure. Yeah.
So now you might be asking, welcome to my collection. Without ruining houses, over 100 new mechanics for Terraria.
Start your route to savings and service. Switch your car insurance to State Farm and save up to $740.
Which is difficulty. So getting into difficulty settings, basically the way it goes is there is normal, expert, revenge. only Revengeance mode and up AI for it. But in short, every boss will have new mechanics, vanilla and Calamity wise. So I just cannot stress this enough. If you can afford to and it's not too much for you, I really recommend playing this, as I just feel like it's the minimum to get to what happens when you create a new character. The first thing that you're going to do is create a expert mode world and create a character with the Calamity mod enabled. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to notice that you have a starting bag, and this item basically gives you a bit of an
Okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm doing this right. I'm not doing this right.
early game boost. It gives you some potions, it gives you some items, some weapons.
And then you'll be able to use the mod. My favorite thing to do is to go through this list and just download random mods and see how crazy they are. Some of them are really, really good and they're crazy. Some of them are really, really crap. And be nice to anyone who releases a crap mod. They're only trying out for the first time. If you're a big fan of Minecraft, you can type in Minecraft and get a bunch of Minecraft stuff as well. But they're just usually basic stuff. The MC Invasion is actually quite good. But other than that, you're mostly just going to be focusing on the main mods that you find on YouTube. I recommend typing in best Terraria mods to play, and then that way you'll be able to filter out all the crap that's on here. Once again, be nice to the people who make the crap stuff. Now, we're just going to download a random mod. The big ones, it'll just be a basic one. And I actually like the look of this 3D one. Well, let's try it. So you click download, it takes a couple seconds, it downloads for you. Very easy. Go into your manage mods, enable your new mod, and disable the other mods that you don't want to use, and then create a new world. So we're going to create a new world here with this 3D mod, and you don't need to create a new character, but you can if you like. And we're going to just create any random world. The world will be created the exact same way it would normally be in normal Terraria. And here we go, 3D Terraria. Now I have to admit, when I clicked on 3D Terraria, I was not expecting...
Okay, so I actually do this in Tmod Loader. Oh, why? Okay, there we go. Ooh, I love her hair. Whoa, okay. So medium root worlds. Make this expert. Yeah, so I guess we do it in Tmod loader.
It to be this, but I have to say I was kind of expecting it to be third or first person, not side scrolling. But I mean, they put some effort into this, so I mean, you can't exactly complain. But I'm pretty sure that if you play 3D Terraria, there won't be much changed in the world apart from it having a little bit of sense of depth to it. And I want to show you one more thing as well when it comes to Tmod Loader. Let's go back out to the menu. What we want to do is we want to activate a mod that we didn't initially have when we created the world. And that just kind of shows you that you can mess with your worlds. It won't always be stable, be careful, but you can mess with your worlds. And at the top right, one mod missing, one new mod. So I'm going to be loading the same world that we just did, but with a new mod. Now, I actually don't even know what the mod changed, but when it comes to this world, it no longer is 3D. Anyway, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. Let me know.
Okay, so I think we enabled all of the mods that we wanted to enable. Right, all of these are enabled, yep. Oh, it's a large world though. Not sure if I like that actually. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, so this will be, I don't know, it'll be like episode 0. I'll change the title of this to Terraria Calamity episode 0. Because yeah, there was a lot of other stuff going on here. Nice. Okay, here we go. I'm here to give you advice on what to do next. I just recommend that you talk with me anytime you can. Okay. Okay, what? Whoa! Actually, this is really cool. Oh, did you guys hear that? Whoa. Okay, I'm going to stop with the internet and everything because I want to have what is this? Would you like for this unit to teach you something? Oh, whoa. Okay, I'm gonna, what is that thing? I'm not sure if I'm going to do a completely class specific playthrough. I think this is just going to be Terraria Calamity and just like me experiencing this whole thing for the first time. Because yeah, new content. I'm excited. I'm actually pretty fast, which is kind of weird. There's our adrenaline, there's our rage bar. Not sure if I'm dashing there or what. Very excited. Alright, let's craft. Yes. I haven't defeated King Slime yet. I wonder if this is updated already. Let's open the starter bag. Music box. From on high dance in your ears, which was looks closer. Throwing brick, row damage. Hurtful squirrels. Oh, thank you for the hammer. True melee damage. Let's craft a nice little house. Couple doors. Some walls. Ooh. It's kind of nice. No hobo. Need some iron. Hello. Hello. Should I follow you? Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna play this for another hour. I don't want to get too far into it, because this is just like like I said, the episode 0. Just figuring out. Ow. Just figuring out how everything works. Look at me. At 1 health. Am I ever gonna heal? Hey! That's pretty good though. Cloud in a bottle? But yeah, y'all are gonna have to help me out a little bit because I want to do kind of a blind playthrough. I mean, I know I read those videos, or I watched those videos, but not gonna lie, I didn't remember a lot. So, and I want it to be kind of blind, you know? I want to figure stuff out by myself. And with the help of you guys, because I think that would be super cool and interactive. I like how I'm a little bit faster. I think that's... Iron potion. I think that's a pretty good thing. Oh my god. That was so close. That was so close too. I think this is gonna be fun. I think this kind of revitalized my... Ooh, we're getting such good stuff right off the bat too. I'm loving this. Yeah, this kind of revitalized my whole... my desires. I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm gonna get this bookcase too. I don't know if I want to completely dive into the rogue class. I do wonder though if a new update is incorporated into this. Ooh, and I like respawn. Okay, and then something that we need to do is for rage. quick buff is B. Quick mount. Yeah, that's fine. Throw. Sorry. I have no idea what these are. Okay, rage mode. Okay. This is my boss log. Okay, I know I just said I want to do a blind playthrough, but I at least want to know how to use the mods.
You know, I always say if you have time to scroll, you have time for a call.
I like that.
At AT&T.
Welcome to my Calamity mod beginner guide. This guide will give you some info about the boss and how to spawn it, as well as like the loot and where to fight it and all that good stuff. It's really useful for learning your way through Calamity. The next one is Recipe Browser. This one can be used in order to figure out what you can craft with whatever items you have in your inventory, or if you want to for learning your way through Calamity. The next one is Recipe Browser. This one can be used in order to for learning your way through Calamity. The next one is Recipe Browser. This one can be used in order to figure out what you can craft with whatever items you have in your inventory, or if you want to go ahead and look up an item to see what you can craft with it or how to craft a certain item, that is what this mod is for. The next mods are music mods.
Okay, please don't die right now. Look at the squirrels. Look at them helping me out. Okay. Oh, Recipe Browser. Okay, nice. So we got that set up. Dude, I'm not gonna kill you. You've done so much good for me. Crafting table to okay, so I need to build a furnace. I only have 1 stone. I'm just gonna get 20. Let me try some of these other weapons out. We got a shackle. Amethyst, so... Place a bookcase down. Storage component. Oops, I got another one. Storage unit. Wow, there is so much stuff. Let's just use it as regular chests for now. I'm very lost. But that's good. Rage. Fuck. Okay. Stop killing. No. Guys, you need to survive. Okay. Hello, Solo. Welcome to Terraria Calamity. Yeah, this is gonna be episode 0 because I haven't really gotten that far. I've just made a house. I have storage components, which I don't really know. Why can't I break this? Thank you. This is kind of a transition into Calamity. And I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on my Elden Ring playthrough, where I'm not gonna, from now on, I'm not going to use the internet. So it'll be up to me just being able to learn about everything. Please, no spoilers. But you're allowed to help me. Chat's allowed to help me. Thank you, Solo. Give me the plant, Beep apologizes. Yeah, appears yeah, it was being the Moonlord was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Especially on the mage class made it a little bit harder to do. But yeah. So I'm gonna mess around a little bit more. This stream was going to be a little bit more of a chill kind of stream. I wasn't going to actually install any mods or anything, but I got bored, so here we are. Yeah, but this is going to be... Oh my goodness, you look how far you jumped. Ow. So yeah, it's just going to be another half an hour of me just messing around. We're on Revengeance mode. The mode that we should be on. And okay, I did. Oh, I didn't know Crimson was worse for mage. That too. That too. But we did it. Okay, once you've gotten a storage component, you will need to create a storage heart. The storage heart is where you can access stored items and is required for a storage system to function. Okay, we will get to that later. I'm so glad that I have you, 113-ATO. I'm so glad that I have you in my life. We got super lucky and we were able to get... What is that? Wolfium Gyrator. Wow, climbing claws too. Yeah, we were able to get Hermes boots and Cloud in the Bottle, like pretty much right away, which is pretty nice. What mods did you install? I know you installed Calamity and Magic Storage. Right. Okay, I installed Calamity, Magic Storage, and then I got extra music for Calamity. And then I just got recipe. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's this thing to help me with recipes, and that's it. I think that's all the mods that I'm going to use. Yeah, that's going to be it. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but I can check next stream exactly the name of it. But yeah, just music. Oh, and this boss log thing. Again, I don't know the name. But yeah, that's about it. I don't want to do too many mods. But if there is something that genuinely would help with this whole experience, I would be willing to download another mod. But yeah, I don't want... Ooh, chest. Bench staff, though. Something that I did I saw from the video. So I watched like a tutorial on how to, just like a beginner's guide to Calamity without any spoilers or anything. It told me to download these mods. Nice, we got some herbs. That'll actually be pretty useful for potions and stuff. I completely forgot my thought process. No. Oh yeah, we have to be careful with summon. Because one thing that I do know is that summons are reduced when you use items that are in a different class. So if I attack this... Oh. I thought they were reduced. Oh no, that's what the video said. But I'm going to treat this as play whatever class I feel like. Maybe not do rogue. Just so that I can... I don't know. I just want it to be kind of like a pretty raw experience. Oh, hello. Oh god. Get him, Finch. What is that? Oh, God. Get him, Finch. Dang. Yeah, I was feeling pretty bored at like an hour ago, but I think I'm gonna like this. Ow. Okay, let's go mining a little bit. For some reason I have like a mini dash. Yeah, let's keep exploring this cave. Streams next week might be a little bit hectic. By hectic, I mean I might not stream next week. Because that's when I move! So I need to get used to that whole thing. I do like the small quality of life things, like I'm a little bit faster. I have a little bit more mobility. I don't take a million years to respawn. Ow. Look at how fast these slimes are. Alright, let's go to the other side of this cave. We could explore the left side of the world. Oh, never mind. Heart crystal. Let's go. Whoa, this cave's nice, actually. We can get some gold, too. Oh, we need the dryad to get some pots and so we can place those seeds down. Come on, Finch. You got this. You got this, Finch. Oh. So I don't think, because I have an amethyst staff. This is 16, what is this do? 9. But it doesn't, like, it's not updated to, like, vanilla Terraria. So I'm not sure what the vanilla content of this is updated to, if that makes sense. What was that? I want to try and get down. Okay. I want to try and get down to that chest. Oh god, look how fast that guy's going. And just like that, I'm dead. I wanna get my staff in my hotbar. Whew, that was close. Well, that was unfortunate. An unfortunate series of events. So it seems like the AI for a lot of mobs and stuff are like kind of crazy. Like, what is that jellyfish? Slimes jump a little bit higher. They're like kind of more mobile, I guess. Oh, I'm about to die again. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at all these guys. Oh my goodness, we are so weak. I'm making armor. That might be a good thing to have. I don't want to deposit all. Rover drive, gain a barrier with 20. Whoa, what? That's new. It seems like this shield comes on after I don't take a lot of damage for a while. I have a rough understanding of rage and stamina. I guess stamina is only important during bosses. That's a cool little mechanic. Rage is pretty cool too. Okay, if you're just gonna direct me to... Yeah, you're just gonna direct me to the chest I was already looking for. That was a big, Thank you. Thank you, fairy. You helped so incredibly much. So incredibly a lot, like my... Oh my god. Shroomerang, though. Shroom my minecart, though. Oh, and we got flail, too. Okay, so that replaces that. Ooh, let's get this gold. So, here we are, very early on into our Terraria Calamity mod playthrough, and for the most part, it's playing like regular Terraria with like a couple of differences here and there. I'm sure it's going to get pretty crazy later on, but look at, I mean, like, the main difference right now is I got a big-ass shield. And I can roar. Although my roar right now is like, instead of the sound effect being like a super rah, you know, it should be like a tiny little kitten. I don't think I deserve a lion roar right now. But yes, let's keep digging. Let's keep digging down in search for treasure. And things that can help me defeat the first boss, the King Slime. So that's the first thing that the boss select tells me to do. King Slime. Defeat King Slime. We got a little skeleton miner over there. Having a grand old time. And a mother slime. Accompanying him. Ooh, another chest, another chest. Let's see what we got. Magic mirror. Literally everything that we need. All the basics. We've got all the basics. So we can go down this way. Yes, we can. Got some emeralds, which I'm not sure how useful this is going to be. Ow. What's up, dude? Actually, what do I actually need for diamond? Oh, emerald, there we go. Storage heart. So I need to find diamond. So what does this actually do? Have adrenaline loss if all damage is absorbed. The barrier will generate 10 seconds after being hit, taking 5 seconds to complete. Generate. Oops. Alright. Let's keep going. Let's amethyst. Oh, this is so much more efficient. Okay. Okay. Oh, big worm. I see a big worm over there. That I do not want to... Oh, no. What the hell? Why is it so fast? More emerald, maybe it'll be useful. Oh no. What? Okay, can you actually... Thank you. Oh, I don't have a hook. Okay. Oh, sorry, emeralds. Oh god. Oh, chest though. Flare gun. Yeah. I'm sure these chests will be pretty useless at some point. I'm just gonna collect them anyways, just in case. I actually can't believe I made it up. Tungsten. I'll save that for later. Ow. Okay, bring it on. Got some gold. Ooh, blindness. Man, I really need some diamond though. But I think it's good that I'm getting this lead. At least I'm getting some ore. Oh, and gold too. Oh god. I hate green jellyfish. Get out of here. I wonder if there's accessories and new accessories I can get out of these gold chests. Well, that's a new thing, I think. Vital jelly? Okay. I mean, I'm out of accessory slots, but... Another magic mirror. What is that? Oh. Well, look at all the stuff that we got. Pretty sure I can just get rid of this. Look at my hair! Look at my hair flowing through the wind. Okay, let's we're out of time, but let's just explore the left side of the world. There's like robots and stuff. I'm not... And we have a corruption biome. Which I'm not... I don't have any opinion on. There seems to be a new class of mobs. They're like robot-y. Whoa, big dude. This guy seems a little bit easier to take down. I don't know if it's just because I have a pretty good weapon now. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Another one of these robot dudes. Oh, well. Okay, I think that's going to do it for today. I'm gonna have to update this title and put this episode or this stream into a new playlist. But yeah, this is going to be episode 0 since I didn't really accomplish that much, and most of the stream was just me setting up and actually not even setting up, just like talking about what to do, or just hanging out in my other mage worlds and not really doing that much. So this is going to be episode 0 of, and the start of a new series. So yeah, I think I'm super excited for this series, and yeah, look forward to this, to episode 1 next, or I guess this coming Thursday. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get off. See you later, Stillwoe. Have a good day, and I will see you next stream.